Talmor, Shishin Magachi. Talmor is my home. My family have worked the land for generations. My gran says the island does not belong to us, but we belong to the island. And we must be ready, for a great evil is coming, and death follows with it.
Listen and subscribe to the latest season of Undertow, The Harrowing, a Storyglass production presented by Realm, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Burntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I uncover the blasphemous truth of a plague-ridden world, that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The Heresies of Radolf Burntwine, coming January 2nd, wherever podcasts are available.
And now, listen to this on the Toddcast podcast.
You started hearing Econoline crush on good Canadian rock stations in the mid-90s, and to this day, their music is still very much part of the country's fabric, with songs like You Don't Know What It's Like, Home, Surefire, All That You Are, huge radio songs. So they're formed in 92 from Vancouver, and singer Trevor Hurst has got to be one of the best frontmen in the game. In his last visit, you heard him tell a great Billy Idol story. He talked about playing Madison Square Garden, Alice Cooper, losing a bandmate, a super sensitive topic, but one that I knew that you wanted to hear about. It's a heartbreaking story that sees the band move forward without Ziggy, perhaps looking to add to their 2 Juno nominations with their new album, When the Devil Drives. We talked about being inspired by In Excess, Chris Cornell, and The Cult, seeing Van Halen in concert, The Stones, Nine Inch Nails came up, so did some book recommendations. And Trevor talked about how there's a renaissance in rock music. Listen to this.
I think it's going to be kind of a renaissance. Like, there is times when I would be interviewed and people would talk about kind of like almost wistfully or whatever with, because of times past, they'd say, wow, those Edge Fest bands in the 90s with all these great Canadian bands. And I kind of feel like it's coming around again. It's like, because everybody put out records, even in America and all around the globe practically. When the stuff comes out, I think that it's going to, like, some people are like, oh, there's just too much music and going to get lost in the shuffle. I don't think so. I think it's like people have almost an unending appetite for great music. So if you can make great music, and if you've made great music, you're going to be around for this renaissance. And I'm very confident that we're going to get to play some great shows with bands that we just love and respect. I think it's going to be a great time in music for the next 3 years, 4 years, whenever, because so much good music is out there. Depeche Mode, for crying out loud, has a record and a tour,
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's just announced Josh Freese as the new touring drummer.
Do you know how tight that's going to be now?
Dude, that's
like, not that it wasn't with Taylor, but sure. This is like, Josh Freese is like a machine.
Dude, yeah. I mean, I'm sure the only person in the world that's not happy about it is Sting. Like,
yeah,
taking my drummer? Like, no.
God, he played with a lot of people. He was Devo's drummer for a while.
Yeah, he was Devo's drummer. He was like, he did Nine Inch Nails for a little bit. Just trying to think of like memorable stuff, Perfect Circle stuff.
Who's the current drummer in Guns N' Roses? What's his name?
Was that Matt Sorum?
No. Shoot. But we played this thing called Zeta Fest, and it was this band Honky Toast, Sponge.
Honky Toast is a great name,
right?
Yeah.
So, it's weird. Our generation, right? Like, I just don't Google things. I'm like, I'll remember. Anyway, one day because I couldn't get over how good the drummer was in Honky Toast. The band had no songs. They had a great name, but the drummer. And he is currently the drummer in Guns N' Roses.
Let me now that we're here, let me quickly find out.
And it was cool.
Why do I not know that?
And it was this Zeta Fest thing. Our hotel was across the street from the park we were playing. It had an amphitheater, those things with the big concrete dome thing or whatever, half clamshell thing.
Oh, Frank Ferrer.
Yeah, Frank. He was the drummer in Honky Toast. And
oh, cool.
So the Sponge guys there was a little delay. Well, like, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Are you going on? What's happening? They had to play the set without the guitar player because he couldn't find the venue, which was across the street from the hotel.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh my God, Vinny, what's up? Singer's just like, I don't know, man. They're just up there with drums and bass, wax ecstatic, wax ecstatic.
Oh my God.
Listen to This on the Toddcast podcast is brought to you by Tedco RV Supplies in Langley, an ICBC-approved repair shop. Visit them on Facebook and Twitter at Tedco RV Supplies.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.